What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. So the post-mortem on Secret Invasion is continuing. As you guys know, it dropped its finale this past week on Wednesday. This came out. It was the worst episode of all episodes. Of all the episodes, it was by far the worst. I did a quick little discussion on that. I'll link that video above if you didn't catch that. But yeah, it's starting to actually go a little bit worse for this now that this thing is completely unfolded. A lot of people have probably said, well, you know, I'm not really into this series, watching it week to week. I'll go ahead and binge watch it in one go and see what it's looking like. Yeah, the audience score is absolutely dipped. It was at 60%. Now it's sitting at 56%. So now it's a rotten bucket of popcorn. All right. Not only that, you got the Arrowverse creator coming out and saying, hey, you know what? Maybe it's time we just reboot this thing. All right. It might be time to reboot the MCU. We might be done here. All right. This whole MCU has gotten completely off the rails. It's nowhere near where it was when it first began, you know, with the first three phases. It's done. Okay. Time to reboot it. I'm going to have a video coming up in a minute about this one. But this might be the funniest part about this whole reflection on Secret Invasion. From the direct, Secret Invasion director shares surprising reaction to bad reviews. And you might be wondering, well, what's his reaction? Well, his reaction is what reviews? What reviews? I don't know anything about reviews. This is what's sad right now about Marvel. They are scrambling, trying to figure out what to do with their content moving forward. And the sad thing is, really, Secret Invasion should have been a slam dunk. This should have been one of the easiest things they had to do because the storyline is right there. They might have had to make some tweaks with a few characters, but for the most part, the storyline was perfectly fine. There was no reason to screw it up this badly. It's like getting the keys to your dad's Ferrari, and then you pull up at the club and you can't get no action. Like, how does that happen? How does that happen that you got the keys to the Ferrari in your hand and then you end up turning out this crap? How do you do this? How do you do this? The best you coming home with is a 5. You know, it's like you got a Ferrari, bruh. How did you manage to mess this up? Man, but yeah, let's go ahead and read this article and get into what this guy's reactions were to the bad reviews. Following the conclusion of Secret Invasion on Disney+, the MCU director shared his own thoughts about the series' poor reviews. From the outset, Secret Invasion had the makings of a home run thanks to its fantastic premise and all-star cast. Again, keys to the Ferrari, okay? This cat had the keys to the Ferrari pulling up to the club. He should have been able to pull anybody, okay? Anybody. It should have been a slam dunk, easy. Unfortunately, the 6-episode season, which centered on Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury and helmed by director Selim, left audiences both befuddled and disappointed, a fact well illustrated by the finale's record-low Rotten Tomatoes score. When asked by Variety about Secret Invasion's rather lackluster reception, director Selim confessed, "Oh, I don't read reviews." Bro him. Come on, man. Come on, bruh. Come on, man. Don't be pulling this stuff this early in the morning, okay? Oh, I don't read reviews. With all due respect. For me, I view all the storytelling work I do as a dialogue with the audience. When the show is finished and put up on the screen, that's my half of the dialogue. And the audience then starts their half of the response to it. I think that's valuable, but I don't know. I don't know how to answer the question. Clearly, you don't know how to answer the question. Hey, what do you think about the reviews? It's an easy question to answer. This copium word salad that you're spitting out here. Look, if you're concerned about this thing being a dialogue with the audience, okay? That's what he says right here. It's a dialogue with the audience. Well, don't you need to hear what the audience thinks? Don't you need to hear the other half of the dialogue? Otherwise, it's just a monologue. It's not a dialogue at all if you're not listening to the other half. Oh, I don't read reviews. Man, the copium is strong here, folks. The copium, this cat had a strong cup of copium this morning, okay? Or before he entered into this interview. Best known for his work on Criminal Minds and The Looming Tower, Selim explained why he doesn't feel bad about mixed reviews. How would you feel bad about mixed reviews if you don't read reviews? How would you even know what the reviews had to say? In addition to his take on the Marvel fan base's expectations, I don't feel bad about mixed reviews. If you had unanimously good reviews, every movie would gross $10 billion trillion, right? Projects resonate with different people at different times for different reasons, and Marvel has a very devoted, even rabid fan base who have expectations, and when their expectations aren't fulfilled, they move in the other direction. They give it a thumbs down. Yeah, I mean, that's very true. In addition to not reading reviews or not feeling bad about them, or apparently not reading them at all, I don't get it. How do you know what the review even says to feel any way about it? Okay? Perhaps the most surprising comment from the Secret Invasion director was admitting that I feel great about the response to the series. What? I don't know. Is it our job to fulfill their expectations or to tell the story we're telling? Oh, let's see. Again, this is telling you everything you need to know right now about what's going over there at Marvel. They don't care about your expectations. They don't care what you think as a fan. They are not interested in telling or fulfilling your expectations, okay? Your expectations don't mean a damn thing to these guys, all right? They just want to tell the story they're telling, which in all fairness, if you're a creative, if you're an artist, and you're telling a brand new original story, fine. I 100% agree with that. Tell the story you want to tell, whatever story that happens to be, and then let the chips fall where they may. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But when you're jumping into a already established franchise where, you know, there are expectations from the fans because you've been building on what fans have enjoyed for decades, you have an absolute responsibility to fulfill fan expectations. Because again, you're taking something that they built with their fandom, with their passion, with their love. That's what built up Marvel. That's what built up Star Wars. And that's what built up all of these big brands. You have a responsibility to the brand. You have a responsibility to the fandom to fulfill their expectations. Does that mean you have to do everything that they want or do exactly what they expect? You know, to a certain degree, no. To a certain degree, no. But you still have a responsibility to live up to the hype, okay, of what you have taken over. You take over something and then you just completely do whatever the hell it is you want to do with it. That's not the way this works. And that's how these types of shows end up getting the terrible reviews that they get. Because fans understand, hey, this was a great comic. I don't understand how you guys blew this. Or even the fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that have maybe never read this comic. They're sitting up here like, this isn't a great show at all. This isn't that interesting. I guarantee you that these cats that's at this 56% audience score, I guarantee you these guys, they're not all comic readers. But they're like, I don't know about this one. This is a 50-50 one for me. And that's the problem. This show should have been an easy win for Marvel. One of the easiest they've ever had. So it's a tricky thing. I would love it if everybody loved it, but I also don't have that expectation myself, so I feel great about the response to it. This cat don't know what to think. He don't know what to think. This cat, his mind has been completely blown because he thought he had something great on his hands, and he doesn't. And now, and the fans and the response to it have been absolutely the opposite of what he's expected. So he don't know what to think at this point. Instead of just coming out and saying, you know what, we gave it our best, you know, and the fandom reaction to it is not what I would have wanted, clearly. You know, some people love it, some people hate it. Seems like it's about 50-50 right now. I mean, hopefully the next thing I do for Marvel, it'll be in the 90s, you know, 90%. More fans will love it. I gave it my best. We're going to go back to the drawing board. We're going to see the mistakes that we made, and we're going to try to improve upon those things. That's what they should say, but they're not saying that because Marvel will never admit, and none of these cats will ever admit that they got it wrong. How does Marvel Studios feel about Secret Invasion? Well, they should be very concerned, to be very honest with you. They should be very concerned about Secret Invasion because, look, critic aside, okay? The critics aren't liking this, and that's concerning because normally your little lapdog critics, they just lap up everything that you do. They just eat it all up and they give it a 90% or whatever. That's normally what your critics are doing, Marvel. They're not doing that with this one. This is the worst reviewed television show that you've ever put out. But besides that, the audiences are not feeling this. The viewership was way down on Secret Invasion along with the audience reaction. It's down. And that's how you measure success with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Your viewership, you know, viewership numbers on television, box office numbers when it's a movie, and then the audience reaction. What are the audiences saying? That's the stuff that they should be paying attention to. And both are down. Both are way down for this particular film, all right? And like I said, this was a series that had this giant promise of intrigue. Oh, this is going to be like a spy thriller or whatever. Remember at the very beginning, people were talking about, oh, it's got this Winter Soldier vibe. Oh yeah, I love this Winter Soldier vibe that it has. It's dark, it's complex storytelling. Oh, I can't wait to dig into this. Remember, that's what a lot of people were saying after that first episode, while I was saying, nah, this looks like complete trash. This doesn't look like it's going to be dark or compelling at all. It was always amateur hour. That's always what it was, okay? But still, it seemed like they were at least going for that more grounded, realistic tone. And then how did it end? Yeah, just total nonsense, right? Special effect laden total BS. That's how it ended. And see, so that's the problem, right? You got a show that gave you one promise but gave you something else. Marvel should be very concerned about what they're doing right now. The better answer, and possibly what he meant to say, is that he feels great about what he personally achieved in the series. And if reports are to be believed, perhaps in spite of Marvel Studios' internal problems. Who MCU fans truly want to hear from are Marvel Studio executives, and whether they too are unbothered by the negative reviews. Look, negative reviews are a part of any kind of creative endeavor. If you do anything creatively, you got to be ready for the negative reviews. I write books. I've had negative reviews about my books. I don't have a problem with it, okay? It's a learning opportunity. That's the way I look at it. It's an opportunity to learn. Hey, what could I do differently? Let me read some of the actual constructive feedback. Let's hear what they are saying. And then let's, okay, all right, good. I got it. Let me improve upon it. That's the way you're supposed to take the negative reviews, okay? The negative reviews sometimes are more helpful than the positive reviews because they're telling you where you're going wrong, what you could have done differently. You start to see a bigger picture of your project. And so that's how these guys should be looking at the reviews. Not trying, I don't know how to answer that question. Man, just answer the question. It hurt, but I learned something. And that's the most important thing. I'm a work in progress when it comes to my creativity. I'm going to get better. Don't worry, guys. While common sense suggests they would just be as frustrated as the audiences, continue to release subpar movies and series that undermine the MCU brand says otherwise. Hats off to whoever wrote this direct article. Savannah Sanders. Yeah, Savannah Sanders is keeping it 100, okay? Yeah, they keep releasing these subpar movies and these subpar series. And, oh, yeah, we're not worried about it. The brand is taking enormous amounts of damage because of the types of stuff. So hats off to Savannah for actually keeping it real, keeping it a buck. All right. Hopefully Disney's new directive of fewer Disney Plus shows will allow Marvel Studios to return to form and stop its own invasion of forgettable storytelling posing as the MCU. Damn. Good job, Savannah. I'm surprised this is coming from the direct. Normally these guys are in the pockets of Marvel, but she's keeping it a buck. Hey, this is trash. Stop making it. And, if these bad reviews don't teach you something, then we don't know what will. But look, right now, Marvel is in very, very interesting times. Right now, Marvel is in a very, very interesting time, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm not sure where they're going to go going forward. Is it a possibility that they're going to reboot this thing all the way around? Yeah, there's a possibility that they'll do that. But I think ultimately, they just need to get back to good storytelling. Stories that feel authentic and organic to what's going on, It's not like we're trying to shoehorn all kind of stuff in. That's basically what Marvel has become in phases 4 and 5. Let's just shoehorn a bunch of characters, a bunch of different storylines, and just have this gigantic salad of nonsense. And nobody knows where to begin. Like, how do I even understand what's happening here, right? They just need to get authentic storytellers and, just build upon each film, each television show, instead of trying to cram stuff in. And yeah, you might have like the end game, like of Secret Wars, in the horizon. Like, okay, we're aiming towards Secret Wars, but that's off in the distance. But right now we're focused on this particular film or this particular television show, and we're going to tell the best story we possibly can. They just need to, and probably, cut back on some of the projects, but really it's just about each project doing your very best to tell the best story you can with authentic, organic character work, storytelling. The characters will all lead you where you need to go. They'll all get there eventually. But what Marvel, I fear, is doing right now is, like I said earlier, they're just shoving stuff in. and a story like Secret Wars that should have been grounded and realistic, it just ends up becoming nonsense at the end. Anyway, folks, what do y'all think about this situation? I think that this is, you know, again, par for the course with Marvel in phases 4 and 5, and who knows what the hell to expect in phase 6, but it looks like it's just going to be more of the same. But you guys let me know. Go ahead, jump down in the comments, give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.